Hey team, it's Tuesday, Team Training Tuesday, and tonight I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about the 4 reasons why people fail at network marketing. We'll make it specific to that. You could really attribute these to anything that you try, but we're always talking about network marketing, of course, because that's the business we're in. And so I'm going to talk about the 4 reasons why people fail and why that's not going to be you. And this is actually from Romy Neustadt. She wrote a really awesome book called Get Over Your Damn Self. And she has a whole section talking about these 4 reasons. So she's really awesome. But there's 4 main ones here. I'm going to talk about the error in the thinking, the fix for how you can kind of get out of it, and how to have an edge up in your business, and then some questions to ask yourself based on these 4 reasons. So number 1 here, 4 reasons why people fail, is they are not coachable. So everybody hears this as soon as you get in. A lot of people talk about it in the business world, but you have to be coachable. And the error here is people who come into this thinking that they know everything about the business already. They refuse to embrace the system that might already be in place. They think they don't need to learn any new skills. They already have all the answers. And they just come in thinking that they're gung-ho and they're hot stuff and they can do it all on their own. Now, some people might be able to do that based on their work history, but the majority of us come into network marketing never having operated a network marketing business. And so we're actually not sure how to do it effectively. So the error is not embracing the system and not thinking that you need to learn any new skills. Well, the fix here is to admit to yourself that you actually don't have all the answers. There's always room for improvement no matter how big you get in this company. Even if you made it all the way to Royal Crown Diamond in Young Living, there is always room for improvement. So the edge here in this instance is to ask your upline for advice in areas where you're not as strong or confident. So that means you're actually going to have to take some time to think about the areas that you're not as strong or confident. And so when you have those kind of narrowed down, that's what your upline support system is for. You go to them and you say, hey, I'm really struggling getting up and teaching in front of a class. Maybe that's one of the things that you're not confident about doing. Then we can help you brainstorm, okay, how do we get you to just do your first one and grow from there? So asking for your upline, that's definitely an edge. Asking for your upline's help, that's an edge that you can have in your business that maybe some other people aren't doing. And a question here to ask yourself and really reflect on, and I try to re-ask myself this periodically, am I 100% coachable? Are you actually taking all the feedback that you're getting from people, soaking up all of the knowledge that people are sharing with you, taking their tips and tricks and ways of doing things and really absorbing those and learning from those. Now, you don't have to do everything that somebody tells you to, obviously, because we all have the freedom to operate our businesses however we want. But are you still gleaning something from those to apply to your business in a helpful way? So am I 100% coachable? That's the first question to ask yourself. Now, the second reason why people fail in this business is they treat it like a hobby instead of a business. And I'm sure you've heard this millions of times. I sure know that I have in the past 6-7 years. You treat it like a hobby, you'll get paid like a hobby. Treat it like a business, you'll get paid like a business. So I don't want to use some of those, canned terms necessarily in this talk, but it actually is true to a certain extent. So if you're only working your business in your spare time, you will quickly find out that you don't have any spare time, and then you're never working on your business. So that's the main error with this line of thinking. And the fix here is pretty simple. It doesn't mean it's easy to execute, but the fix here is to create specific work hours and stick to them. So have a schedule that you set, no matter if you already are working a part-time or full-time job, or maybe you're full-time stay-at-home. There is such a great thing to be said about having a structure, having a schedule, knowing what you're doing and when you're doing it so that you can inform yourself, your business partners, your family, just to really help get everybody on board with your business hours. Even since we have, home-based businesses, it's up to us to create our schedules. We don't have a boss telling us, hey, you need to be in the office from 9 to 5. So we really need to impose on ourselves some kind of schedule that's going to be helpful for working on our businesses. So the edge here in this instance is to say no to scheduling conflicts that impact your business or are not a priority for you. So when you set up this schedule of your business hours, really think about how strict you're going to be on yourself as far as sticking to them. So if you say that you always work, Tuesday and Thursday nights, and you leave Saturdays open for classes in the morning, then you better be sticking to those hours. So if somebody calls you up and says, hey, do you want to go out to dinner on Thursday night? We're going to this new place, blah, blah, blah. And you say, sure, why not? No, I don't have anything planned. Well, actually you did, because you set that as your work night. So, in those instances, it's never a problem to tell people, actually, no, that's when I work on my Young Living business. Can we go out on Friday night? And that's doing a couple things. It's reminding them about the standards you set for yourself, and it's also reminding them that you have a home-based business and you're very serious about it. And you can't just willy-nilly change your time. Now, of course, a lot of us get into this business because there is time freedom and there is scheduling freedom. And so that's still up to you as far as how lenient you are on your own schedules, but it's important to know that if you lose some time in your schedule earlier in the week, then you just need to make it up based on whatever hours that you allotted for your business that week. So just saying no to those scheduling conflicts can be a little difficult at the beginning, but once you get used to it, you just kind of set yourself a standard and everybody understands and knows what that is. And then a question to ask you here as you're dealing with different scheduling conflicts that might come up or different opportunities to go and do stuff, just decide, is this a priority for my business? Even the things that we're spending our time on during our scheduled hours, is this a priority for my business? And those need to really be income producing activities, and I won't hit on those too much tonight, but that's basically hosting classes, getting current members to sign up for Essential Rewards, and teaching your leaders how to do the exact same. Those are your income producing activities in the Young Living model. So if you're not doing anything that's a priority in those three things, maybe it should just be cut out of your schedule completely as you're working on your business. So number 3 reason here why people fail is they're not willing to get uncomfortable. And I myself am guilty of this all the time still. I still think about, oh, I could do this, I should do this, but do I really want to do this? And the error here is that we're all afraid to try new approaches. Even new tools or new scripts, even if they've been proven to work for others. So even the game plan system that Sarah Harnish has set up, it's pretty cut and dried. It's pretty self-explanatory. Actually, it's not self-explanatory. She breaks it down for you. She explains it for you. And all you have to do is just follow her process, her scripts. And a lot of us still are just so scared of getting out there and trying it and seeing what happens. So the fix here is that obviously practice makes progress. I never try to say practice makes perfect because nobody's perfect. None of us will ever be perfect. But practice will certainly make progress on whatever you're working on. The more you do it, the more comfortable you be. And that is just the bottom line. I've been doing videos like this now for maybe a year and a half. And I don't even think about it anymore. I just get on here and I'm me. So even if you're thinking about teaching a class and you're scared to get up in the front, well, you know what? Everybody there is their own self, and you're just getting up as your own self. And all of your flaws and mistakes and quirks and goofy things that you're doing with your face or your hands, that's just you. That's what's going to draw people to you. That's why people love you. That's why people join your team. So we can't be just too scared to just get out there and show ourselves to everybody. So the edge here is model the actions and behaviors that you'd like to see in your team. And this is really what kind of drives me, because I don't want to ever ask anybody in my team to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. So I don't want to tell people, yeah, you should be out there teaching classes if I've never taught a class or I'm not out there teaching classes. So it's really important that if you want to teach a certain standard on your teams as they grow and as you build these new leaders, you need to be out there walking the walk and talking the talk as well. So modeling those actions, behaviors that you want people to replicate in your business. So a question here to ask yourself is, what's holding me back from trying X? No matter what that is. And if the only answer that you have, or one of the answers that you have, is fear, or you're scared, then that's not a good enough answer. You might realize that the fear is coming from the fact that you're not prepared, or you're not comfortable with your script, or you're not sure of how to execute a certain thing. within that project. And that's exactly where the practice makes progress comes up. Teaching your team how to do stuff, teaching in front of your family, practicing yourself in front of a camera like I try to do, and go back and review how you look and sound. And if you're really just scared of something, it's kind of just a key that's showing you, okay, what are you exactly scared of? And how can we work through those problems? So that's a good question for you. What's holding me back from doing this? And then last but not least here, the fourth reason why people can fail in network marketing is they're not hungry enough. And all of us will kind of go through ups and downs in our businesses, kind of some stagnant times, sometimes where you're like, oh, I don't even care today, let's just worry about it tomorrow. And other times you're just really hungry, you're ready to go. You really want that next rank up or that next person on your team, and you're just gung-ho and you're excited. So if you're not hungry enough, obviously you don't really want it bad enough at the time. You're not going to be driven to overcome obstacles and succeed in areas that you haven't succeeded in yet. So the fix here is to revisit your vision board, revisit your whys, and remind yourself why you're doing this. So if you haven't created a vision board, I would definitely recommend that. That's just such a great visual representation of the things that you're striving for. It could be words, phrases, places you want to visit, things that you want in your life, luxury items. Whatever you want to put on your vision board is up to you. And if you haven't created one, you should, and you should put it up in your office or your workplace, wherever you're going to see it. That's going to help remind you day to day why we're in this business, why you're doing what you're doing, whether that's love or connection or money to pay off bills or debt or traveling. That's totally up to you. But revisiting that, revisiting your whys, reminding yourself why you're doing this just gives you that extra oomph that you need to keep going, keep chugging along. And then the edge here is to focus on improving yourself first and foremost, and then the right people and the money will follow. This has been true for me time and time again, because even if there's a month where maybe we get a bunch of signups, and if I'm not in the mindset of, okay, these are the people I'm helping, this is great, I'm growing my team, I'm growing families with health, who have health and wellness goals, and all I'm worried about is the $50 paycheck that I can make off of somebody, that's not going to sustain your business. You really have to think about, how can you improve yourself, your current skill set? How is that going to affect the people that are around you every day? How is that going to affect and help your team based on the new skills that you're learning? And it's always an introspection as far as, am I there yet? None of us ever are. We're continually improving our skills, our mindset, and the way that we operate our businesses. So the question here is to ask, what do I really want out of this? So if you're realizing that the only thing you're wanting out of this is the money, which obviously is really nice, that's a big pull for getting into network marketing. None of us will turn down the money, I'll tell you that. But if we're really just in this for the money, we might just need to revisit why else we should be in the business. Maybe there's a deeper reason that we haven't really clung on to yet and grasped as our main why. So we need to be driven by something bigger than the paycheck. And that's really important to ask yourself, to find out, and that'll just give you the fuel for the fire that you need to succeed in network marketing and in Young Living for sure. So those are the 4 reasons, guys. If you have any questions, if you're struggling with any of those, we'd love to hear about that, chat through that. If you come up with some interesting answers to your questions, we'd love to also discuss how we can work together to improve your skills and just keep you guys growing in your businesses this year, because that gets us really excited and that pushes us further to keep improving ourselves as well. So I'll see you all again next Tuesday for another team training. Bye!